Welcome to EUTV Sports Update. We'll be looking at the latest sports news from Evangel University and around the region. I'm Eric Patterson.
We'll also look at college football across the nation and check out the latest happenings in professional sports. I'm Cadence Washam. This is Sports Update on EUTV. So college football is in full swing all across the nation this past weekend, so that was amazing just to watch.
Yeah, and college football with our own team at Evangel played really well this past weekend. They won 55-0, smoking the team, and they're also 4-0 this season, so really good for them.
Yeah, and then our volleyball played. They didn't have the win they were looking for, but it's okay.
Yeah, we'll get back to it.
At home on Saturday night, the Evangel Valor football team shut out Sterling to continue their winning season. Valor offense took aim and tallied 535 yards of total offense. Quarterback R.J. Wakely led the Valor victory with 271 passing yards. Some other key players to mention are Bradley Myers, led Evangel with 15 tackles, while Garrett Finley and Zach Myers finished with 2 sacks. Evangel is now 3-0 and looking to make it 4-0 on the road this weekend against St. Mary.
On Saturday, the Evangel Valor volleyball team squared off against the William Woods Owls in what turned out to be a close 5-set defeat for the Valor. Evangel got up to a quick 2-0 set lead, but William Woods would show resiliency by barely winning the next 2 and easily walking away with the 5th set. Bella Wakely led the team with 15 kills as the Valor fell to 5-6 on the year. The Evangel men's soccer team kept rolling as they shut out Ozark Christian College on Thursday, 5-0. The Valor had a well-balanced attack as 5 different players each had a goal. However, no one was more efficient than Ted Okoro. Ted scored once on only 1 shot on goal, partnered with an assist. Thursday's win pushes the Valor to 3-0 on the season.
Evangel women's soccer hit the road to Conway, Arkansas on Saturday to face Hendrix College, but ultimately fell short. Evangel and Hendrix played a competitive first half as neither team could score for the first 27 minutes of the match. Even though the Valor remained scoreless throughout the whole game, losing 2-0, they had many offensive players have multiple shots on goal, including Anna Crane, Elise Hershey, Emily Aldwalt, and Ava Campbell. Evangel's conference play starts Wednesday and will face Avalia Eagles.
Yeah, the volleyball team played really well this past weekend, and they played a ranked William Woods team at home, and I thought they were going to pull it out. They were up 2-0 on sets, but they let them come back and unfortunately come back to it.
Women's soccer played Hendrix College, which they had a really tough match. They kept them close, but Wednesday they start conference play, so that is something to look forward to for them.
Yeah, and then the men's soccer team is undefeated as well. They played really well, shutting out Ozark Christian College, and I might have to go check a game out. They're looking really well.
Yeah. Coming up next, I'll be here with Athletic Director Dennis McDonald to talk about Valor Sports.
And later, we'll look at some of the most significant college games from the weekend and what happened to the Chiefs. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. I'm here with Athletic Director Dennis McDonald. Thank you, Dr. McDonald, for being with us today.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, so my first question for you is, being the athletic director, what does that entail of? What's your daily task in communicating with coaches and players? Like, what all do you do?
That's a great question. I'm doing part of it today. It's representing the Department of Athletics through media. It's involvement in hiring staff and appraisal of staff. It involves budget development, quite a bit of that. operations, game day operations. So it's just it's a very interesting position because every day is a little bit different.
Yeah, that's great. And then what are some core values and standards that you try and promote to coaches and players?
Well, first and foremost, we want to make sure that we embrace the mission of the university, and that's a part of our mission as well. But I call it being a 3-for-3 student athlete, being a 3-for-3 coach, or anyone in our staff, and that means that first and foremost at Evangel University, we're pursuing influencing the student athletes to have a closer walk with Christ and to be a strong Christian leader. We always have a strong influence on academics. We want to make sure that our student athletes are excelling academically, and we do that. We have at least 10 of our teams in the past year that were NAIA scholar teams. And, you know, we're an athletics program at the college level, so we want to win. And so that's what I call a 3-for-3 approach.
Definitely. And then what can fans expect from teams this season?
Hopefully just what I just said, that whenever they hear about our student athletes, they hear that they are involved in the community, they're involved in service opportunities, that they're excelling in the classroom, and that we're winning in our competitions.
Excellent. And then since we changed conferences to the KCAC conference this year, what does the competition look like? And then does Evangel, are they going to struggle? Or are they going to look like the best team out there? How is the competition going to look?
Well, right now we're 4-0 in conference. We've had 3 football wins and 1 volleyball win, so that's exciting. You know, as far as strength of conference compared to KCAC or comparing to the Heart, it really depends on the sport that you're looking at. But the KCAC is incredibly strong in all sports. There's lots of teams that are very, very strong at the national level. They're nationally ranked. Right now there's, I think, 4 teams that were preseason ranked in the KCAC, and we were receiving votes, so we were the 5th team. So comparing that to the Heart, I think there was about 3 teams that were at the national level in rankings. And that just changes as the year goes on. But each sport's a little bit different when it comes to that.
Awesome. Our Valor teams are definitely doing really well this season.
We're excited, yeah. They're doing well.
And then the new Valor Center is being built right now. What can student athletes that are looking at Evangel, what can they expect from the new additions being made?
Well, you have the Valor Center, you have the Randy Rowden training facility, and what you're going to expect is brand new facilities. You know, the Ashcroft was built in 1962. That's just about a year after I was born, so it's been around a little bit, and it was definitely time for a new building and a new facility. So the gymnasium will be in there, so we'll have basketball games, volleyball games. There can be other activities because of the seating that would be available in there. The training facility includes locker rooms, offices. We have the athletic training area as well. And so the full facility is going to serve all sports and a lot of activities for students as well. That's
going to look amazing. And then, in your opinion, what makes Evangel sports so much different than other colleges?
What I mentioned before, that we are 3-for-3, and our strong influence on our Christian faith and influencing student athletes to be Christian leaders is, I think, something that separates us. But at the same time, we're going to be strong academically, and we plan to be very successful in competition.
Yeah, and then can you give us a little history of your background in sports and how you came to Evangel?
Oh, wow. If you want to go back that far. So I got on a Greyhound bus in 1981, or actually 1980, and sight unseen, I arrived on campus at Evangel from Valdosta, Georgia. So about a 21-hour road trip. And it started from there. I came to play football. Football is what drew me here. But then the institution just enveloped me, and I was able to grow in my maturity spiritually and academically, and I was able to compete in athletics. I played football here for 3 years. Left and came back as a coach, and I was here coaching for about 7 years. And then I went into a full career in school administration. So I was a middle school and high school principal, public school principal in Georgia and also in Texas. And then as I was getting to the end of that particular career, Dr. Stair, Dave Stair, a good friend of mine, he decided to retire. And the position was open for about a year. I applied for it, and I was fortunate enough to get the athletics director position. And so I've been here now going into my 9th year.
Nice. And then if you could give one advice to student athletes, what would it be?
I think that you start student athletes understand first steps. In whatever you do. You guys are taking first steps within this broadcast. There's certain things you must do and do right so that the rest of the broadcast goes right. Same thing for any athlete. The first step is so critically important. And so what I try to say to the student athletes is start your day with scripture. Start your day with prayer and take that first step, make it the first step right. And then when it comes to academics, it's a very practical process. Go to every class. And they're like, what, every class? Yes, every single class. Go to every class just like you would go to every practice. You're not going to miss practice because your coaches are going to be highly disappointed in you. And you won't get to play. So go to every class, do every assignment. It's really simple. And when you do that, it's amazing how smart you become. And you go way beyond the maturity of a high schooler or a middle schooler. All of a sudden you're a college student and you're just one step away from being a professional. So start your day right, do the right things. And when you get into those habits, the athletics follows behind very closely.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Dr. McDonald. Best of luck to all of our Valor sports this upcoming season. Coming up next, we'll look at some of the college games and upsets from the weekend in the NFL. Stay tuned. Number 11, Texas, proved themselves in Saturday's matchup after defeating number 3, Alabama, on the road 34-24, ending the Crimson Tide's 21-game home winning streak. This is the first time since 1902 the two teams have met in Tuscaloosa to compete. Quinn Ewers finished what he started last season, passing for 349 yards and 3 touchdowns to lead Texas to victory. Alabama's offensive line was pushed around much of the night. Their penalties were proven costly to the outcome of the game. This win to Texas gains confidence not only for this season, but also for the upcoming seasons as they join the SEC in 2024.
On Thursday night, the 2023 NFL season kicked off with an intense matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions. The Lions, on the road against the defending Super Bowl champs, held their own the whole game. Despite being down their top receiver and tight end Travis Kelce and top pass rusher Chris Jones, the Chiefs led almost all game. However, the Lions scored the go-ahead touchdown with 7 minutes to go as it put them up 21-20. As David Montgomery ran it in and they shocked the Chiefs in Week 1. In a top 25 ranked matchup, number 20 ranked Ole Miss Rebels traveled to New Orleans to play the number 24 ranked Tulane Green Wave. It was close the whole game, even up to the fourth quarter, but Ole Miss pulled away, scoring 10 points in 30 seconds, sealing the victory. Quarterback Jackson Dart played well, throwing for 267 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. But the most critical play came on a scoop and score by Jared Ivey. The final score did not represent the competitiveness of the teams, as Ole Miss won 37-20.
Missouri barely holds a grip on MTSU in a game that Missouri was projected to do fairly well in. Missouri pulled through with the win of 23-19, but the game could have really been anyone's. Middle Tennessee opened the game with the first touchdown drive midway through the second quarter. Missouri leaned on explosive plays in a matchup that generally lacked offensive momentum. It looked like Missouri had broken the game open when on the first play of the fourth quarter, Nathaniel Pinwent was left uncovered by the MTSU defense and took 49 yards to the end zone for a 23-10 lead. But then the Blue Raiders scored 9 points in 50 seconds to close the gap to within 4 points of the Tigers. Missouri is now 2-0 for the first time since 2018. Yeah, so Texas and Alabama, Texas was the underdog, and last year's matchup against Texas and Alabama was 19-20, so Texas is able to get payback from last year's game, so that was pretty cool to see.
Oh, yeah, they did. But did you watch the game last night? The New York Jets played the Buffalo Bills. Aaron Rodgers got injured and potentially could be an Achilles injury, so very sad for him. Hopefully he's not out for the season. But they came back and won in overtime on a punt return by a rookie, actually. So that was really interesting.
Yeah.
And go Jets, I guess.
Yeah, football is full swing this year, so.
When we come back, we'll have the EUTV Player of the Week.
We'll also have your upcoming Evangel games this week. We'll be right back. So Valor Sports are now 4-0 in the KCAC conference, our new conference we just joined too. So we're doing very well in that. So let's go ahead and showcase one of our EUTV Player of the Week.
Yeah, it's time for our EUTV Player of the Week. This week's Player of the Week is RJ Wakely. He's a redshirt senior from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and quarterback for the Evangel football team. He has helped the Valor go 3-0 this season and has over 600 passing yards this season alone. In the game on Saturday against Sterling, he had 4 touchdowns and 271 passing yards.
So yeah, congratulations, RJ. Those are some amazing accomplishments just in one game alone. I'm excited to see how he does the rest of the season as well.
Yeah, me too. He's doing really well.
And now let's go to the upcoming games of the week. Men's and women's soccer play Wednesday, September 13th at Avila University. Women at 2, men at 4:30. And then they also play Saturday, September 16th against Kansas Westland, women at 12 and men at 4:30.
The Evangel football team plays Saturday, September 16th at University of St. Mary's at 1 p.m. in Leavenworth, Kansas.
And then men's and women's cross country will compete Friday, September 15th, the Larry Young Invitational in Columbia, Missouri.
Men's and women's golf play Monday, September 18th. The women play against Jury Invitational at 9 a.m. in Baldwin, Missouri. And the men play the WWU Fall Invitational at 9 a.m. in Fulton, Missouri.
Men's and women's tennis will compete Friday, September 15th, the KCAC Individual Fall Championship at 9 a.m. at Lynchburg, Kansas. They'll also play September 16th, that Saturday, in the KCAC Individual Fall Championship, 9 a.m. in Lynchburg, Kansas. Go Evangel Valor!
Yeah, I'm really excited to see all these different games. We have a ton of different games from the golf team, to tennis team, to cross country. There's a lot of different games. I would suggest go and support your Evangel Valor.
And then football's looking to make it 4-0 this weekend on the road, so that's something to look forward to as well. Well, that's all the time that we have for today for Sports Update. We invite you to check out euvalormedia.com for all the latest Evangel news and media. I'm Cadence Washam.
And I'm Eric Patterson. Be sure to join us next week as we bring you the latest in sports news. For more information on Evangel Sports, go to evangelathletics.com. This has been Sports Update on EUTV.